We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
Hello, and welcome once again to another Leverage Your Score. My name is Tyrone Glover, and I'm the CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery. And thank you, as always, thank you so much for making that time to be here with us as we go through some of these important, super important credit understandings. I want to make this clear, crystal clear. I am not a financial advisor. Full disclosure, I am not someone who resides in that realm of being able to help you with your finances completely. We have other experts that do that. I am a credit specialist. I am someone who is specialized in addressing credit. Why am I specialized in that? Because again, I dove into it. I made sure that I spent a substantial amount of my adult life understanding, evaluating, making sure that I can give you the best recommendations, diving into the laws, diving into all of the protections that are there to help you. So you don't have to do all that heavy lifting. I've spent 20 plus, and I will spend even more of those years so that you, the individual, that individual looking for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that's where I come in. I'm the credit expert. I'm the credit enthusiast. I'm someone who loves this just like you love your favorite activity. This is my favorite activity. And for that, I got to thank you always for making that time to be with us. So as always, got to give the creator his due. If you haven't already shouted out to that creator, thanking him for giving you life this morning, please do so at this time. If you are someone who's getting ready to go to work or someone who's getting ready to go to sleep because you got to work the night shift, if you haven't thanked that creator for giving you breath, please do so at this time, because that's why we are able to do what we are able to do. All right. So again, I'm going to jump right into it. April is Financial Literacy Month. April is Financial Literacy Month. The reason being that they chose April, and I'll dive into that, but this is now your time, folks. This is now the month where you can sit back, make that extra special time to go over your finances. But first, you have to understand, what is financial literacy? How does that even play a role in my success when it comes to my finances? But prior to that, as always, if you got this device, do me that favor and go ahead and send an invite to one person. And then in that invite, ask that one person to send it to another person. All right, that's all I want. Just one person. Send it to one person. But I want all of you who have made the time, I want you to send it out to one person. Before you know it, we'll have a great audience that will have probably an abundance of questions. And that's my job here. My job is to be able to help you navigate through your finances, primarily in the range of credit. There's so many things that you don't know, that you're unclear of, and this is the show that will help you get there. Leverage your score. All right, so if you've already sent that out, thank you. Let's keep it moving. So as I said, April is Financial Literacy Month. So we got to talk about what is financial literacy. Does anybody know anything about what this is? So our lesson for today, financial literacy, refers to a myriad of skills you might call on when making a choice about what to do with your money. Some of them are basics like how to add and subtract the money you earn, spend, and save, while others involve a complex combination of calculation and risk management. But overall, financial literacy is just more or less speaking about how well do I manage my resources? How well do I manage my money? And if you're obviously not doing a good job, but that's okay. If you are doing a great job, fantastic. If you're not, again, it's okay. It's okay. You knew that you were going to need some assistance, and this is why we created this platform, to give you that assistance. I would never recommend to anyone that you go out and operate on yourself because you're not a doctor. But you seek out the expertise of someone who's in that realm that would be able to help you. This is what this is all about, seeking out the experts in those particular spaces that are going to allow for you to be able to make substantial improvements when it comes to how I manage my money. All right, so a little bit of history about financial literacy. Every year, Financial Literacy Month is celebrated in April. Financial Literacy Month is not only a celebration, but it is a challenge. And I'm going to challenge all of you as we move through this. I'm going to give you something that I want you to do. And hopefully you can do it, execute it, and get it done. And then we can help you further with establishing that exceptional credit profile that you're looking to get. This is your opportunity to review your finances and gradually improve them. The Financial Literacy Month was first recognized in the United States in April 2004. This was done to highlight the importance of being financially literate and to make people learn about the ways and techniques that can help them in becoming financially smart. All right, that's what we want. Financially smart, savvy, intelligent, well-rounded individuals that know how to manage their finances. That's all we want. And it's going to start with, as I've always said, with your credit. It doesn't start with your job. Your job is just the means of being able to receive some income, some finances. Even with the modest of incomes, if you still have an exceptional credit, you can make your life be as splendid, as stellar as some of the multi-billionaires out there or gazillionaires out there. You just have to know what to do. The multi-billionaires, gazillionaires, millionaires, and I like to break it down for us too, because some of us are 100 heirs, some of us are 1,000 heirs, some of us are 10,000 heirs. But it doesn't matter what type of an heir you are. If you have an exceptional credit profile, you're going to be okay. You're going to be more than okay. You just have to have somebody who can help you navigate through the challenges or some of the unexpected circumstances that do arise. And if it impacts your credit, that's what we do. We are here to help you leverage your score. The continuation of the Financial Literacy Month. So Financial Literacy Months originated from the Youth Literacy Day, which came into existence through the National Endowment of Financial Education. The NEFE was an activity which was a part of the high school financial program. In 2003, the United States Congress showed great support for Financial Literacy Month after the Senate resolution and House resolution requested President W. Bush to declare April as the month for financial literacy. So there's some history there. There's some good history. They knew that there was a problem. They waited all the way up until 2003, but the problem didn't get better. It got worse because it was just as Congress always does. Evaluate. Make recommendations, but they don't enforce very much. They still let the same culprits go out there and do what they want. So later on, the United States House of Representatives passed a bill that supported the goals of Financial Literacy Month. The bill also asked the president to order the implementation of this month to the federal government, schools, localities, and nonprofit organizations. So they asked all of these entities. They asked the federal government. They asked the schools. They asked localities. They asked nonprofit organizations, can you help us out with this? And to be honest with you, some passed, some didn't. The New York State has a financial literacy grade that is a D. And we should all be appalled because we don't do enough. And I'm sure there are other states out there that are doing exceptionally well. And I'm going to congratulate them, give them a huge applause because they deserve it. States, schools, nonprofit organizations that decided to take this and run with it, they're benefiting from the return on their investment. And that's what we're attempting to create here. A nice, substantial return on your investment. But you got to know the particulars. And when you understand why financial literacy is so important, if you understand why they chose this particular month, maybe we can orchestrate and design something that gets you started in this month and then allows for you to continue every other month thereafter to make sure that you are well positioned for whatever credit obligation that might come your way. All right. It is said that the foundation of a bright future is to develop a budget and increase your financial knowledge. One more time. It is said that the foundation of a bright future is to develop a budget and increase your financial knowledge. This is what this is about, folks. We need you to be financially smart, financially savvy, financially fit, financially prepared, financially protected for any possible circumstance that may arise. And I'm only specifically talking about credit. There are a multitude of other financial situations that could potentially harm you. That's not my area of expertise, but I do know a lot of great people. And one of the people that I'm going to be mentioning right now, Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse. An exceptional, wonderful recipient of numerous awards, is someone that I dearly appreciate and reach out to when it comes to areas of finance that I'm unsure or unclear of. Another person that I would love to introduce and make, again, a household name, Antonio Kenyatta. Someone, again, he's a fiduciary. He's obligated by law not to mess your money up because that would mess up his potential freedom. All right. So these experts in their areas of expertise, I've partnered with them so that when I'm able to take you from a not so impressive credit situation into an exceptional credit situation, now I want to make sure that that new money that's now been freed up, I want to make sure that we pass you off to some exceptional individuals, exceptional personalities in their areas of expertise so that they can help grow that wealth. Because everything is always going to boil down to financial wealth. Am I generating generational wealth? So it's got to have a starting point, and that end point is completely up to you. But it's got to have a starting point. Understanding why financial literacy is so important, then moving into how do I protect and maintain an exceptional credit profile? And then from there, we pass you off to the necessary varieties that come to help you secure your entire financial portfolio. All right, here's a little bit of a timeline, financial literacy month timeline. So you got the Jumpstart Coalition. The Jumpstart Coalition started promoting the April as Financial Literacy Month for youth. All right, so it was mainly more tied around the youth of our nation. And then they thought about it, our youth are doing bad, but our adults are doing far worse. So Congress showed some support. The United States Congress showed support for a financial literacy month and requested that the president declare April as a financial literacy, again, for the youth. But it was piggybacked on. The Senate Resolution 316 is passed with which declared April as Financial Literacy Month in 2004. So it took 4 years of talking about it. Oh, him and Han, 4 years of talking about it before they finally decided, okay, you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. So the House of Representatives supports Financial Literacy Month. The bill supporting the goal for Financial Literacy Month is passed. So it took an additional 1 more year for them to pass the bill. And that should tell you a lot about our Congress. takes 5 years to pass something that's super important for every citizen in this country, to make sure that you have the ability, the fortitude to be able to manage your finances effectively. But in order to do that, you need the education, you need the academics, you need the support. And that's why Leverage Your Score and Tyrone Glover does what we do. That's why Soul City Network has given me the opportunity to be on this fabulous platform, to come to you every Tuesday to deliver exactly what you need. All right, so here's the Financial Literacy Month to date calendar. So every year obviously it's April 1st. It starts that whole month. Starts that whole month in April. And then obviously 2022 is going to be on a Friday, which was this year. 2023 is going to be on Saturday. It starts, and so forth and so on. Here's some Financial Literacy Month related holidays. Tax time. If you haven't filed for that extension, you're going to probably get hit with a penalty. All right, April 18th. That was yesterday. We got National 401k Day coming up on September 9th. So again, just some important dates that are tied to how you should be managing your money, how you should be making sure that you are including these in your financial literacy education. And National Financial Awareness Day, August 14th, my apologies. All right, just again, some key dates, things that you should be considering. Maybe this would be my start date of doing this. Maybe this would be my start date of making sure I take care of that. Whatever these circumstances may be. But as I told you earlier, you can't find that time. As these individuals here have done, they made the time. And that's what I'm asking you now. Make the time. Make the time. Stop trying to find the time because you're not going to find it. You have to make that time. All right, how to observe Financial Literacy Month. Take a pledge to change. So that's the first thing. How do we do what we need to do to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that we're successful? Well, here's a perfect understanding of how to do that. Take a pledge. And this is the pledge that I'm going to now present before you. I'm going to ask everybody who's here, along with those who we asked to join the program. We're going to ask you to go to annualcreditreport.com and get your credit report. Go to annualcredit.com, annualcredit.com, and get your credit report. That's the challenge. Go to annualcredit.com and get your credit report. Once you have that credit report, I want you to reach out. If you cannot navigate that and look at it and go, wow, my credit is A-OK. Now, this is not going to give you the score. It's just going to give you the data. And as I always say, it's important to know the data. The score can be completely wrong if the data is incorrect. So we're looking at something that they know already has been manipulated, the score. You got to know more about how that score was compiled. And the only way to do that is to have someone like myself who can walk you through those particulars. And I will be giving you, on top of this challenge, a free financial analysis. So that's my challenge to all of you. Go to annualcreditreport.com. Reach back out to me that you've gone. I'll give you more instructions as to how do I receive your credit reports that you've downloaded to your PC or to your laptop. If you're savvy enough to download it to your to your phone, please make sure that you have the complete reports. But that's my pledge. That's my challenge to you. I need everybody who's listening, everybody who has family members that could be subjected to the same tragedies that we've been subjected to when it comes to our credit. For individuals who think that their credit situations are stellar, but are still so surprised that they're still getting hit with double-digit interest rates. If you're looking to possibly move out of a living situation to enhance or improve or to better your current living situations, if you're coming from a hoopty and you now are able to put yourself into a newer model, if you're someone who has been renting and now you're thinking about home ownership, well, this is the first step to getting you towards your goals. So the first way to observe Financial Literacy Month is to review your attitude towards your finances. Think about if you can commit to change the way you make a financial decision. Take a pledge to change your decision. This will benefit you in the future. Okay? Urge the government to make financial education mandatory. I know we are having a problem with this mandatory word. Wearing a mask, not mandatory, is mandatory. Mandatory, not mandatory. Again, that's a whole different debate. I know that word is something that has been a questionable understanding, but we should be requiring upon our government to make financial education mandatory. I'm in a school and I'm shocked. I'm shocked for the last 6 years, shocked for the last 20 years, shocked that we do not have the understanding in our academics that we should. Early on academics. If we're waiting until the kids get out of high school and they're out in college, too late. Too late. I come from the business world. I've been in the business world for over 30 years. And it's alarming when you have individuals who come to your office, and I'm talking about a retail environment. They're at the cash register. They come to your office. Oh, I need quarters. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, you probably need a roll of quarters, but you do understand that 2 dimes and a nickel is a quarter. And you got a whole drawer full of dimes and nickels and pennies, but you would rather take away from your guest that might be in your line to walk to an office and go, oh, I need a roll of quarters. No, you don't. But that's, again, part of financial literacy. It's really, you might think it's not, but it is. It is part of it. So we're urging upon our government to make financial education mandatory. New York State has a D. It has a D grade when it comes to financial literacy. You would not be able to get into any really good school with those types of grades. So New York State, what are you doing? Is it not that important to you? Because if it's not, just tell us. I'd be more than happy if somebody told me that this was not important versus you putting out all of these things that you're acting as if it's important. All right, we should request the government to make personal financial education mandatory in schools and in colleges. This will make the younger generations more educated about smartly handling their finances. And then raise awareness about financial literacy. This is a perfect opportunity to raise all of the awarenesses. If you are part of an LLC, if you are part of a larger institution, and you know that your wages have been stagnant, and you know that at the water coolers, there's a lot of conversation about, oh my God, I can't pay this one, I can't take care of this one, I can't do that, I can't. This is a perfect opportunity to make this now a regular understanding at that water cooler. Hey, did you reach out to someone who knows about credit? Hey, did you reach out to someone who might be able to? Well, I don't know where to go. Well, here is now the opportunity to do that. So due to the pandemic, our finances are being affected, which makes Financial Literacy Month more important. Some of you might end up in the courtroom standing in front of a judge because your landlord now is trying to take you to court because of back rent. But there's a lot of things that you may not know that your landlord knows, but they're not disclosing. So you can go into court and you can flip the script and you can walk out of there with now the landlord owing you money. But if you don't know these things, if you have no clue about these things, then you're setting yourself up for failure. We should continue to raise awareness about choosing intelligent ways to handle our finances. All right, there you have it. 3 ways of being able to observe Financial Literacy Month. So 5 great facts about Financial Literacy Month. All right, number 1, financial literacy is lacking in the United States. 1 out of every 5 students lack basic skills of financial literacy. 1 out of every 5 students lacks in financial literacy skills. That should not be. That should not be. All right, we got to do a better job. Men are more financially literate than women. 29% of working women show basic skills of financial literacy, whereas 47% of men demonstrate basic financial literacy skills. And the reason why these numbers are so skewed is because most of the men are, and again, Let me rephrase that. Men and women are equally breadwinners. But primarily, the woman is the one who does most of the spending. All right, men, we buy t-shirts and jeans. Maybe a hat every now and then. But women buy the groceries. They take the kids to the stores. They make sure all the Christmas presents and holiday presents are bought, the birthday presents. That's not saying that they should not have a higher percentage when it comes to basic financial literacy skills, but they do a lot more. And unfortunately, they have not prioritized that sitting down, putting out a budget, making sure that they have the understanding of what entails that whole financial literacy understanding. Men just do the bare basics. That's why these are called the basic financial skills. So that's why the men's score might be a lower percentage, might be somewhat significantly higher than women. But still, nothing to be alarmed by. Women have, over the last 10 years, have stepped up so much. I'm so impressed with our women today. More than one could ever possibly imagine. I'm so impressed with our women, how careful they are, how caring they are, how they put themselves out front to make sure that their kids, to make sure that their mates and their partners and their spouses have. Women have changed the whole trajectory as to how our country can run itself more effectively. And I'm hoping that more and more women step up to this challenge. Loans are not understood properly. 54% of student loan handlers don't know about their future monthly payments before taking out their loans. And I can tell you right now, they lied to us, folks. They lied to us. They told us these fabrications about how education was going to be so once you got a decent education, that you'd go into the working world and you'd have a job that would allow for you to pay down your student loan debts, and you'd be out of those debts within 2, 3, 4, 5 years after graduating. So go ahead and take out these student loans. No, that wasn't the case, because no one thought there were going to be a pandemic. And even prior to the pandemic, there was a lot of shenanigans going on by Fannie Mae selling this over to Navient, who's now no longer in the business. Yes, they're now slowly but surely, and if I'm not completely, already removed from student loan debt because of all of the shenanigans, all of the tomfoolery that they were doing when it came to your student loan. So there's another one. If you're going to find yourself in court or you're receiving correspondences in reference to your student loans, please do not sit on those. Please make sure that you open those letters. Please make sure that you look at those emails. They're going to try to use it against you if you don't. All right, so here are a couple of more. Financial literacy is, we already said that one, that we know financial literacy is lacking. The last two are few are financially educated. According to the national survey, 20% of adults have participated in financial education. 20% of adults. We got 330 almost people in this country. If I'm not mistaken, there's a significant, I don't remember the number right offhand, but if I'm not mistaken, 30% of that are the individuals who are under the age of 18. So that means we still got a huge amount of the population that falls into that adults that do not possess enough financial education. Personal financial skills are important according to the report by LT Trust. Women save 68 cents against every dollar that men save for retirement. So we're doing a decent job with putting that money to the side, but is that money growing in the manner in which it should? Again, if you don't know anything about how your retirement funds are working out, this is a perfect opportunity to now reach out, seek out someone who can assist you with that. As I told you before, not a financial advisor. I don't make financial recommendations when it comes to those types of understandings, but I'll give you everything under the sun when it comes to your credit. I'll walk you through every piece of what you need to know when it comes to your credit. Every piece, everything, any and everything that you need to know about your credit, leverage your score, Tyrone Glover is the guy to call. So thank you, Erica Badu. And I'm now putting it out there. Call Tyrone. All right, so what is financial literacy again? What is it? Financial literacy is the ability to understand the products and concepts you need to manage your money. There's a wide range of knowledge that will allow you to see the potential cost of your financial decisions, and taking the time to understand banking, savings, investing, and more may help you achieve economic and financial stability. All right. Again, there's a wide range of knowledge that will allow you to see potential cost of your decisions, and taking the time to understand. Yes, understand banking. Your money goes into a savings or a checking account. Well, how much do you get back on that money that's sitting in there? The savings account, again, someone could probably tell you, oh, I'm getting 1%. I'm getting a point. I'm getting 2. No, you're not. 0.04. 0.04. And you're getting far less on that on your checking account. But yet we're sitting thinking, oh my God, this bank is doing so much for me. No, the bank is only holding your money, and then they're charging you for every ounce of that when you go to another ATM machine, when you do online transactions. Understand more about your investments. Do I have enough in my 401k, 301, whatever these numbers and varieties of different saving or investment opportunities are out there? If you don't understand Rule 72, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. And more may help you achieve economic and financial stability. That's what we want. We want economic and financial stability. These ebbs and flows, they don't work. In credit, your credit should not be doing ebbing and flowing. Your credit should be going in an upwards trajectory all the time. But if you don't know how to achieve that, then you're going to have ebbs and flows. You're going to have ebbs and flows. I've already said numerous times, not just today, but throughout the programs. You're going to have to control your credit, because if you do not control it, trust me when I tell you, Oscar, Equifax, Strategy, and Experian, they're going to control it, and they're going to control it to their benefit, not to yours. But this all encompasses, this is all part of financial literacy. All right, the ability to understand the products and concepts you need to manage your money. All right, so for example, a financial literacy person knows these things. A financial literacy person should know these things. If you take home $2,000 a month in pay, you cannot spend more than $2,000 each month without going into debt. That's a very simple understanding. A financial literacy person should understand that. That makes sense. But there are some things that, again, credit will encompass that would allow for you, even if you're making $2,000. If you've allocated that money effectively, you've put it onto certain credit understandings, you're going to watch your credit score go through the roof while still having a modest understanding of $2,000. They should save some of that $2,000 for the future. And if you have a reasonable or an exceptional credit profile, you'll be able to save quite a bit of that $2,000, because you're now going to be allocating, managing that money properly. You're going to be putting it into perfect, ideal situations that are going to allow for your growth and your stability for the future, because that's what you want. You want growth and stability for your future. With even more financial literacy, they might be familiar with the 80-20 budget rule. All right? 80-20 budget rule is simple. Spend 80%, save 20% of your income. It's just that simple. And aim to set aside $400 of that $2,000. Set it to the side. This is where now, again, having the understandings of what still is to come when it comes to financial literacy, that $400, I can invest it. I can turn it over to those experts that I talked about earlier. the Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse. I could turn it over to the experts that I talked about earlier, the Antonio Quinatas, the individuals who now are experts in their particular fields, and they then can now take the importance of what we've created, and they can then grow that exponentially. But you got to have the financial literacy understanding prior to. All right, so those were some basic instructions or basic understandings of what a financial literacy person should know. All right, one person might choose to pull out 400 in a high yield savings account. Another person might choose to use the same 400 to buy stocks. You have to know the difference. You have to see, where do I get the biggest return on my investment? And that's where, again, someone who has that understanding would be able to steer you in the right direction, whether you do one month and do it something else the next month, or break it into $100 a piece for whatever investments that you want to then pursue. But you got to have the understanding. You got to have the financial literacy knowledge before you can even make a decision for either one of those options. Both are financially literate choices depending on each person's goal, understanding of their products, and risk tolerance. Risk tolerance is a huge word. You can't put some money in somewhere and then a month later have to take it out. You can't put money in somewhere, you start seeing cents or you start seeing maybe some dollars decline, but you think, oh my God, I'm losing money. No, because what goes down must eventually go back up. So that risk tolerance plays a huge role in one's financial literacy skills. And if you don't know what risk tolerance is, again, you need to reach out to someone who can effectively explain these things to you without any qualms or quarrels. All right, so we're about halfway into the program. If you got any questions, please, by all means, drop those in the comments section. I'd be more than happy while I'm still continuing the process here of answering those questions. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the the comment section. Thank you. All right, so how financial literacy works. Because financial literacy begins with the first interaction with money, it is a lifelong journey, one that inevitably has good and bad moments. While you can develop financial literacy by consumer education, content about personal finance, you will also gain it through real experiences. And the majority of my situation, meaning my knowledge, comes through both or all three of those: consumer education, personal finance, and through real experiences. I take my business knowledge, I apply that to my personal life and a lot of my personal financial decisions, and it has improved my understanding about financial literacy so well that I started a business. And that business is thriving. That business is doing so good for itself that I'm able now to offer these types of understandings free of charge to you. If you want to know about what's inside that credit report, get yourself a free credit analysis. That's just one step of this financial literacy road to success, this lifelong journey. Financial literacy is the ability to understand the pros and cons of a money decision, ways that cost, and confidently decide what to do. But being financially literate doesn't mean you know everything about money. Rather, it equips you to seek out the answers you need in order to make good financial decisions. Okay? I don't know everything about money. I'm not even going to begin to even put it out there that I know everything about money. No, I'm an expert. I'm an enthusiast when it comes to credit. And I leave all of those other areas. I can talk you, probably get you to think or understand, hey, you know what? Yeah, I might need to get that next product. I can help you in those areas, but I'm not going to begin to tell you about what you should be doing in those realms when that's not my area of expertise. But as I stated, I'm going to partner with some of the best in the business. And I'm going to be able to pass you on once you are ready, once you know that, hey, I've taken care of my budgeting, I've taken care of my spending. I've taken care of my credit. Now I'm ready to move on to that next level, which is investing or savings or whatever it is that your next level is going to be. My job is to be able to have that relationship, that partnership that allows for me to transition you from what we started, follow up with you on a regular, and now put you in the hands of somebody else who's going to continue that financial journey for you. All right, so ask yourself these questions. Am I currently making proper financial decisions? Am I shopping well? Am I buying things that I want, or am I buying things that I need? Am I effectively and efficiently managing my money and debt? Are you equipped with proper resources, knowledge, and skills to reach your financial goals? And here's a good one that I wasn't quite sure, but I added it anyway. Should reduction of expenses come through better regulations? And that one right there, that was a really tricky one, but I thought I'd throw it in there. But I think there's a lot. There is a lot to that question right there. There's a lot to that question. A lot that the federal government could do. A lot that our local governments could do. A lot that our state governments could do to reduce a lot of these expenses that are levied upon citizens, all because that our legislators will not lift a finger to make sure and hold companies accountable to their malfeasance. And lastly, are you using ethical decisions making when selecting the insurance, loans, investments, and using a credit card? Are we just rushing into these situations? So those 5 questions, again, just something for you to ponder, to think about. Some of our core concepts for personal finance include understanding how credit works, how to budget, and how to invest. So why financial literacy is important for our youth in 2020. So this is, again, I'm going back a little bit because I wanted all of you to see, to understand this has been a journey. This has been something that was established, obviously, back in 2000. It took them 5 years to make it something that was more recognizable throughout our country, but yet we still have, again, New York State has a D letter grade when it comes to financial literacy. If you are not going to teach your teenage child about money, how do you expect them to manage their own money when they become an adult? That's a very important question because they're not going to be able to. Youth financial literacy is often taken for granted. Most of the time, it doesn't really get the seriousness that it deserves. The irony of it is that in 2020, money affects almost every aspect of our lives. Right? This is pandemic 2020. Okay, financial education should be a continuous process, right from childhood to adulthood. And unfortunately, not even our learning instructions seem to recognize this fact. Excuse me, I said instruction, I meant institutions. My apologies. We tend to assume that people will somehow learn about money on their own. They need to be a paragamous, swift when it comes to financial literacy. Okay? It's just that simple, folks. We're not trying to make this complicated. We're not trying to make this arduous. We're not trying to get you to have to go out and get a master's or a doctorate to understand your money. No, this is pretty simple. You just got to get in front of it. You got to want it more than those who are providing it to you. And once you do that, you'll find that, oh my God, easy peasy breezy. And it's just doing it consistently. It's just doing it consistently. It's just making the time. Twice a month. Making the time twice a month. If you do that twice a month, don't be surprised that your financial knowledge will increase. And that's with anything that is a repetitious process, that you're doing it over and over and over and over. If you were working out and your muscles was getting bigger, then you would obviously understand, hey, this workout is working out well. But if you're still got the flab under there and it's not, and you don't see yourself improving, then obviously something's not being done properly. With financial literacy, it's only going to allow for those guns. Welcome to the gun show. It's only going to allow for those opportunities to be more fruitful. But it's got to start somewhere, and it's up to you. All right, so why is financial literacy important for youth? Well, the importance of financial literacy for our youth cannot be overemphasized. There's nothing as dangerous as a financially illiterate youth. Someone who doesn't have an idea on how to manage their finances can easily fall into various financial traps unknowingly. Okay, it is generally difficult to fix bad decisions concerning finances. It can take several years to do so. Teaching youth or young people about money at an early age will impact them with virtual knowledge and skills that will assist them to make informed decisions when it comes to financial matters. So here's some of the reasons why financial literacy is important. One, it empowers them. It empowers them, gives them so much. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I said this before. One of my students who was part of my Yonkers Young Entrepreneurs, about, I think it was maybe 2-3 months now, texted me, hey, Mr. Glover, just wanted to reach out. Thank you so much for teaching me how to understand credit. He showed me that he got an American Express card. He showed me that he got his first Apple card, and his credit was topping 750. All right, young kid, just graduated school, just graduated high school, didn't have no knowledge about credit at all, became a young entrepreneur, figured out the ins and outs, understood how he needed to be financially literate as a youngster, went out there and applied the techniques that he was taught, and now he's reaping the benefits. All right. Financial literacy breeds ill-equipped adults. Okay. Financial illiteracy breeds ill-equipped adults. Lack of financial education makes it easy for youth to pick up bad financial habits. Spending more, buying unnecessarily, not having anything saved or invested. Financial literacy helps to better prepare the youth for emergencies, not even having an emergency fund. So I hope you're walking away with why financial literacy is important for our youth. Equally, it's important for our adults as well. And it should start at a very, very, very early age. And I have the ability to be in a school where they've given me free, Mr. Glover, you are a business expert. Go on out there and do what you need to do. Go on out there and make our babies and our youth as smart as you possibly can. And I am so grateful to the Board of Education here in my state and in my city that I live in that allows for us as teachers and educators to go out there and make sure that we're presenting the best of what our students should be privileged of getting, our best. And I'm grateful to be in a position where I'm able to execute that as much as I need. All right. So it empowers them. It gives them the ability to go out there and do whatever it is that they need to do. Whatever. It empowers them. It makes you feel so much better about yourself. The more important you have about finance, the better equipped you will be. On the other hand, a lack of proper knowledge and information about money is dangerous. Young people need to be empowered about money and how it works. Second, financially illiterate breeds ill-equipped adults. Statistics indicate that young people who never receive proper education on finances end up as irresponsible adults, particularly on financial matters. And as I said it before, it's always a behavior. Their behaviors are contrary to those of adults who were taught about money management while they were young. These are behavioral issues. And if you can attack behavioral issues at a young age, they do not become adult problems, concerns, or ill understandings when it comes to financial literacy. Okay, so it's, again, just some of these things that you should know. All right. Lack of financial education makes it easier for youth to pick up bad habits. Often young people involved in poor money habits, such as gambling, had no or poor background in financial literacy. They can easily be influenced by others engaging in other poor financial habits. That's the number one thing. Oh, I learned from grandma, or I learned from grandpa, or I learned from auntie, or I learned from uncle. Putting money in a mattress. Oh, I don't use the bank. Oh, I don't use credit. That's not proper financial literacy, of not understanding all the mechanisms that are out there to improve your finances. So it's really important. It's really important to now make that time. All right, financial literacy helps to better prepare the youth for emergencies. All right, sometimes we are caught up in urgent situations that require large amounts of money. For a young person who is financially literate, it becomes a little easier to maneuver and comes out of the situation compared to someone who is financially illiterate. In other words, there are numerous reasons as to why financial literacy is important for our youth. They should consistently be taught about how to save, invest, budget, and manage debt. Failure to do so can lead to a generation that is not only irresponsible, but also poor. And that poor is not meaning financially poor. It means that you have knowledge that is keeping you financially poor. Okay, you can have all the money in the whole wide world, but if you don't know nothing about financial literacy, you're going to burn through all that money. Oh, the Bezos is the Warren Buffetts, come on now, Mr. Glover, you know a lot of these rich people. You've watched them on the CNBCs, you've watched them on the Fox Business, you've seen them throughout your extensive period of researching how rich people got rich and how poor people got poor. So there's a lot of them out there. But they have, again, what we don't have. Bookkeepers, accountants. You're the CEO of your household. And we're giving you now the tools to become financially literate. Once you become financially literate, you're going to start making better financial decisions. Your behaviors towards your money are going to change. And knowing what I know is only going to change for the better. All right. So as always, I'd like to thank you for making the time for this discussion. Here's to using financial literacy, proper money management, and monthly financial best practices in making healthy financial decisions. All right. So cheers. Hats off to you. And as always, our contact information. As you can see, we are on not every, but we're on the top 4, at least for me, my top 4 social media platforms. TikTok, you can find us under Credit Coach 411. Also, you can find us under Leverage Credit Recovery on TikTok. And Facebook, you can find us under Leverage Credit Recovery. On Twitter, you can find us on Twitter under the Credit Coach 411 or Leverage CR. And on Instagram, same thing, Leverage CR. Credit Coach or Coach Credit 411. So we use the social media because it's a way for us to get our information out there. Our emails are leveragecreditrecovery@gmail.com coachcredit411@gmail.com. My contact number is 805-428-9424. Please feel free to send me a text. Please feel free to send me an email. Please feel free to go to the website. If it's a simple question that you want answered, do not hesitate. Send those questions so that we can prepare you for your financial lifelong literacy journey. Because it is a journey. This is not a sprint. It is a marathon. Okay? This is not a sprint. It's a marathon. And the well-prepared that you are, not only can you do the 26 miles here, you can go to Boston and do their 26 miles. Not only you can go to Boston and do their 26 miles, you can do triathlons. Okay, you're going to be so physically fit when it comes to your finances that nothing's going to stop you from being able to reach that next goal, whether it be hoopty to new car, whether it be living situation with someone to my own place, whether it be a 1-bedroom now moving to a 2-bedroom because the family's now expanding, whether it be moving from a renting situation into a homeowner situation, whether it be working for somebody now becoming a business person, someone who's now going to be working for themselves. Entrepreneurs, I can't say it enough how impressed I am with women today. Super impressed. And as I give that shout outs to these women that are doing phenomenal things, we got to definitely give a huge applause to Ketanji Brown Jackson, first African-American sitting on the highest court in the land. Congratulations. Congratulations. The way that she sat there and took on all of this disgusting display of leadership from some representatives that were trying to grill and tarnish, and that's all they can do, attempt to tarnish her reputation. But she's still the most qualified person ever. To my niece, who's doing her things with Hair Hands by Teeks, women going out there, understanding, hey, I got more to offer and I need to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do. To our Dr. Yana Bees, who's again, #1 when it comes to financial information. To our young lady who hosts my show, Jasmine, who makes it happen every single week, who's always there, making sure, hey, give me your stuff, Mr. Glove. Got to make sure that we are ready for you. So women have changed. To all of my women in my academics field who are making it happen day in and day out, no matter what hits them in that face, who show up, because showing up is the first part to any success story. So women, you have done it for me, and you will continue to keep doing it. And as long as I can be someone who's sitting back, I'll hold on to your coat tail and ride that coat tail for the next 200 years. No matter. Women are more compassionate. Women are more caring. Women are more in tune. And we need to give them their just due, and we need to give them that love that they need to continue this journey, because we as men, we haven't done such a great job. So women, I celebrate you. I love you. I appreciate you. And with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. As always, I thank you. I thank you so much for making the time to be with us. It's always a great experience to be able to share the knowledge that I'm able to share on Tuesdays. As I said, this is one of my favorite days of the week because I get to spend it with 460. I'm not 100% sure. I think we're somewhere around that, with 460 beautiful kids and with a staff of professionals who every day show up for our students and their parents to make sure that they are successful. So thank you. As always, everyone, please continue to be safe. My name is Tyrone Glover. I want to thank you for making the time. Before I go, I want to send another heartfelt understanding to our brothers and sisters there in Ukraine. We understand how this matter is really it's creating more problems than we can possibly imagine, but hold strong. We support you here, and I'm sure there's way more support. I support you. I know your cause is just cause. Stay strong. And with that being said, Love you. Appreciate you. Everyone, please continue to be safe.